Now, if you hadn't figured it out by now, I am also built below peephole level. But eventually, curiosity always got the best of them. They had to open up the door to see, number one, if there was somebody out there, or number two, maybe they thought they had the worst case of termites in termite history because all that noise going on. Well, they'd open the door, I would run between their legs into their house, set up all my candy samples, and I'd be halfway through my sales pitch before they even realized I was in there. So that's how I got my start in the sales business, and went on from there into the real estate business, and now we're in the pest control business, as most of you in the room probably realize. But it is a great opportunity that we all have living here in South Florida and being part of such a great and mixed and diverse economy that we have. And I think the League of Cities is probably evident of some of the progresses that we've enjoyed over these years to work together. Because we all are kind of a hodgepodge of big cities and small cities and towns and what have you, but we can all still work together for the common good of the area. And we can all still, at the same time, expound on the positives and the pluses that our little communities or our big cities have to attract homeowners and businesses to our area. I remember a long time ago when John and I, and this message was given to me by our mom, who was born, raised, and died, never left the state of Florida, grew up in this area. And one day John and I were with her shopping in the old Sears and Roebuck store on Dixie Highway, for those old timers in the room that remember that. There's a freestanding building there. And we were there, with her shopping, and as guys, we got kind of bored with the shopping thing, so we kind of wandered off or whatever. And, well, I wasn't quite sure where she was at. Well, anyhow, our mom always kept a watchful eye on us, like all moms did back then. And there were some kids that kind of came up to us, and they were laughing, making fun, kind of thing or whatever. And she watched that go on. And she didn't come up and try to intervene, didn't try to get between us and the kids or whatever. She kind of watched it and let it run its course. But on the way home that afternoon, we're riding in the car, back before seatbelt laws and no air conditioning, the windows rolled down. And she looked over at us and she said, I saw what happened to you guys back there at the store, and I saw those kids, kind of making fun of you and all. And she says, and I know that you're different. She says, and you're always going to be different. She says, but you can't let what other people say about you, and that's evident with some of the things people say about us and our cities and stuff in the press. You can't let those things get to you. She says, because it's not what other people think about you that creates your worth. It's what you think about you that's going to create your worth. She said, you guys have got to look at yourself like a couple of dimes and a handful of nickels. She said, smaller in size, but possibly worth a little bit more. And that's the same thing. And that's the same philosophy as all of us as big or small cities have to take that same spirit and outlook on our everyday adventures and apply that to our little cities or our big cities or whatever. And unfortunately, John, who moved to Lake Worth back in the early 90s, he started going to all the meetings, the commission meetings, and all the other meetings that we have. I think the only group of people that have more meetings than Lake Worth is alcoholics. Other than that, and buddy, we can have some all-nighters too. But John was in all of them. Now, our commission meetings in Lake Worth are on Tuesday night. I have a standing meeting every Wednesday morning at 7 o'clock. So I'm not as late-nighter as he was, certainly. But he'd go to these long, enduring meetings, commission meetings. And on Wednesday morning, he would call me as I was driving to the office to give me kind of a recap or whatever. And I tell people I'm probably one of the luckiest guys in the room to have had the opportunity to be born in America, number one. To be raised by a set of parents that knew that John and I were going to have a problem. We were going to be different, and that could create problems for us they didn't know. And to also to be blessed for the first 53 years of my life to have an identical twin brother that was a mere reflection of who I am and who I was, to be able to bounce ideas off and pick me up when I needed to be picked up and reel me in when I needed to be reeled in. I had that for the first 53 years of of my life, but I think that the only regret that I really have in my life is that John wanted to run for mayor of Lake Worth. And I said, are you nuts? I said, I'm asking you that for this reason. Everybody confuses me for you anyhow. And so all the crap that elected officials have to put up with, even though I wouldn't be one, I'm going to have to take because you want to be mayor. Well, but that's the biggest regret that I have in my life, that I actually talked about it because I thought he'd have done a great job at it, and I'm sure he would have. And that was at a time that Lake Worth really needed some good guidance or whatever. But we're grateful today that we have a great commission and a great city manager. And I'm just proud to say that I live in Lake Worth. And I hope that all of the folks in all these tables up front, like I said, I don't know how many tickets Scott sold, but he must be getting a commission on this or something, Richard. Anyhow. But, you know, we all share that commonality, and like I said, my hat's off to all of you as elected officials or people that serve on volunteer boards or whatever capacity that we have in the public sector for enhancing the quality of life that we enjoy here in Palm Beach County. And I'm sure that the League of Cities is going to be in great hands with Commissioner Maxwell being at the helm. I don't see how he has time to do it, but he can certainly figure it out. He told me last week he had 160-something appointments or something in 1 week. And he's like me. It's a good thing he's not a girl. He has a hard time saying no. But Richard, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak ahead of Scott. And Scott, good luck to you. And thank all of you, and let's keep Palm Beach County moving forward. Thank you.
He's funny.
Our local hero, let's give him another hand.